Hi, my name is Richard Peterson, and I'm representing the California Film Institute with the series For Your Consideration, a celebration of world cinema. Please welcome the filmmakers of And Tomorrow, the Entire World, writer-director Julia von Heinz, and the star of the film, Mala Emde. Thank you. Thank you for taking time to talk to us today. I think, Julia, you were in Germany, right?
Yes, I'm in Germany.
And Mala is coming to us, you said, from Costa Rica, where you're on vacation.
Yes.
Yeah, the camera's a little shaky, and it's all fine. But anyway, it's a very striking, intense film, a very gripping film. And uh, I understand, Julia, that originally you conceived it to be a period piece.
Yes, that's true. Because it's based on on my own experience, and they took place in the 1990s. So that was a very intense time of my life, and a very intense time of my co-writer's life, John Quester, who is now my husband. But we met there in this left-wing group, and yeah. After this activism stopped, we began to be filmmakers, and we always wanted to bring that intense feeling into a film. So we worked on it for many, many years. And yeah, we thought it could be a film that takes place in the 90s, but yeah, about 2015, things changed in Germany and the topic became much more urgent. So it didn't make sense to tell it historically. So we put it in the here and now.
And I have to say that there are things in the film that reflect current events in the US.
Yes.
So it becomes very relevant for us too. So Mala, you representing in the film the young generation, did you have familiarity with a lot of the things that Julia provides in the film, or was there a big learning process for you?
I think it was all of it. Like, you're absolutely right. I'm growing up in a time where like everything is like coming up, and like there's this like immense like will of young people to change something, to take responsibility. And like I look around all around the world, and I see young people standing up for positions they like for like what they believe in, and this is so beautiful. And I think our movie, like when we did the movie, I didn't even know how urgent it is, and now it's just like bam, and we're really grabbing into the meat of what is important right now. And like I'm really happy like having made this movie, because I feel like this huge, like there's such an urgent to act. And now I had the chance to do this with movies, like with what I'm doing, with acting. And this is just a really beautiful feeling, to tell stories that I feel like are important to tell.
Well, it is a performance of much depth. I think you go through a lot of changes, and you explore, the moral of the film, which the questions that the film raises about violence and versus change. And it's, certainly it must have been a difficult role, and certainly a challenging role.
Absolutely. I mean, it's always a gift, like if you have such depth and like go into all like these long journey. But yeah, it's like because we like Julia, the script of Julia and John doesn't give an answer. It doesn't say like, hey, this is the way you got to go. Like this is the right way. But it goes like she like Luisa, she meets different people, and these different people represents different positions. And I think this is so strong because it's a struggle. Like there's nothing like right, wrong, black and white, you know. It's always like, if you do this, you have to think about this. If you do that, and like especially what was hard, I like for me, and a really interesting experience, like if you, like Luisa is at one point of this, she like realizes, I got to do it, no one else is going to do it. It's like Greta Thunberg, you know, like if no one does something, no one acts, I have to do it, and I'm fucking lonely doing that. And that was and I hope like in reality we won't be lonely when we act, because I think we are stronger when we put ourselves together and do something. Like filmmaking, you wouldn't be able to make a film alone.
Is it that, so Julia, would you say that was Mala playing you at that age? Is that how we might interpret this?
No, that's too much. She's not playing me, and I didn't experience everything that Luisa experiences in a film. It wasn't interesting enough, so I really had to make up stuff and to make it more entertaining and more suspense and everything. So no, she's not playing me. And also I gave her the part, and after 2 weeks she knew more about Luisa than I did, so it was her character, and she owned it. And on the set it could definitely be that she said, no, Luisa wouldn't do that, and I had to listen to her and ask her, what would Luisa do now? So she's not me. Mala made it to something on her very own, but it's probably inspired by me. And she could ask me a lot of questions. Did you experience that by yourself, and how were your feelings here, and what was your motivation there? And I could answer that very good.
How is it working with the actors, working both with the fascists and also the members of this group?
No one came to this film who didn't care, who just wanted to do a movie, no matter what movie, because we didn't have a lot of money to pay. So everybody who joined that adventure and everybody who was with me really made a decision to do that, and could have earned much more money somewhere else. And also the actors, it's no accident that they are there. They had a lot of intelligent questions about the script already when I casted them. So I really chose people who were very interesting partners for me, and who had they were all very much involved into that. And I think it was easier to play someone from the left-wing group than to be someone from the right-wing group. That's so much harder to play, because everybody who joined that film doesn't like them. And to sing a song like this song in the film, it's horrible for an extra or for an actor to do that. And I really had to be with them and to show them, I'm here with you. You do that for me, and I really appreciate it. And I stand with you and I sing with you. So it's not only you who has to take this horrible words into your mouth. And I think that was a challenge, a huge challenge to do that. Also, the guy who, I don't know, who's with Mala in her bed and everything, it's tough for Mala to do that, but it's also very tough for him to do that and to be that horrible guy. So I love really everybody who gave his energy and his passion to my film. It's full of passion from so many people.
Especially from you.
From you.
You explore the different political sides, but it's interesting, you also have other dimensions. You have the generational aspect. Of course, you would expect me to pay attention to the older guy in the film, but he has an interesting texture and perspective to the problem that they're all dealing with. And again, points out this has been a problem for a while.
And I identify very much with him. He's tired. He thinks, everything is repeating again and again. He thinks those young folks, let them do it, let them play. I know most of them won't stay with it. And he's tired. He's a little bit cynical already, but I have the feeling that in the end something comes up. Yeah, he catches fire in the end again, and we don't even know. Perhaps it was even him who, yeah, put the bomb back to this yard. We don't know that, but it might be. I think because he saw, yeah, people are still serious about it, and yeah, he has to take those people serious. But I identify with him because I know people who paid a price because they stick to the thing and they didn't leave it and made their career. I totally know both sides, but yeah, for me he's a hero actually because he paid that price.
Yeah, he was going to be a doctor, and
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's a, but I think, you know, and but you have interesting perspectives, you know, for different characters. Bata, her best friend, is, you know, represents, you know, a pacifist point. You know, it's with all of this, I wonder how you're looking at what's happening in the US right now, because
Yeah.
it's fairly new to us, you know, even though we've had these movements, but you know, it's fairly new to have, I think, the open, you know, protests and things.
Yeah, I know. I think Antifa in the US is something different than Antifa here. And of course, we all knew that Donald Trump wanted to criminalize Antifa and to terrorize it. But here, of course, it's an important tradition to say, I'm Antifa, I'm anti-fascist. We are in the tradition of the US soldiers who came to the Normandy to free Germany. That is anti-fascism in Germany. So it's actually a very positive, yeah. Yeah, and but I think it should be the same in the US, because when I saw people in the Capitol with Auschwitz death camp sweaters, yeah, so I mean, to be anti-fascist and to be against those people, it should be everyone's duty.
Mhm.
Yeah, did you would you or Mala do research with those people, those kinds of people?
Mala?
Yeah, we did a lot of research. Like Julia, like first of all, Julia's experiences, of course, and like in her entire soul, like she gave us all of that. And then we were really lucky because with all the actors, she organized a meeting with people who were active, like still active young people, and we had to put our cell phones in the microwaves because we didn't know like if they'd listen to things, and like it was really exciting. And then we also met another guy who was really active in the 90s, I think, and we could ask them all our questions, like from the political work, but also like personally, like how is it in your group, like how are the structures, like how is it, like what is the difference between like a man and a woman like nowadays, you know? And that was really beautiful. So I always like I would never do, like with movies like that, I think you need to be really careful that you're not looking from outside on it, you know, like seeing like, oh, like a zoo, oh, what are they doing? And with Julia, when I met her at the audition, I realized she's the only one who's able to do this movie. Like, first of all, because she's an amazing talent and she knows what she's doing, but secondly, because she know, like, you know what you're talking about. And I felt so secure with that. And even though you had such a like your picture and your like your ideal pictures in your mind, you were so open to us, like especially like we discussed a lot about like what are the different roles between man, woman, like whatever. And I think my generation has another perspective as yours, and that's beautiful because things
I
are
learned from
changing.
you.
And
Totally.
you were so open and listened to us, which is not normally, unfortunately, and that was really beautiful.
You also capture, I think, I hope I can say this clearly, but the sort of almost sexual excitement, you know, with among the young people, in terms of, you know, I guess a kind of intoxication with the situation.
Mm.
But that's an important part of the whole thing. I think, yeah, it has so much to do with lifestyle, attraction, music, young people. If you join a movement like that's what I experience, and that's what I see when I visit groups that are active now. And you need that sexual tension. Otherwise, no one would do that boring work of waiting hours and hours for the Nazis to get out of their cars or whatever. It's, yeah, you need friends around you. You need people you fell in love with, people you're attracted to. And that's why people like Alpha are so important in those movements. He has a lot of charisma, but he also pushes people in. And yeah, people join movements because of people like him or people like Batte. Her charisma is also, yeah, huge.
I think always like it's not a love story only between Luisa and Alpha. It's like a love story of all the four of them. Like everyone is somehow connected to each other and like in love with each other, and that's the beauty of it, I think.
Do you think the characters learned something by the end of the film, that their lives were changed?
Luisa probably learned that she can't do anything on her own, because what we see, she starts with the group, then it's 3 of them, then it's only her and Dietmar, then she's all by herself. Yeah. And that's the only time we see a wide shot in that film, when it's after the Nazi song, everybody's left, she's on her own, she's invisible. I always said to Marla when she goes around the singing, people, you are invisible now, you don't even exist anymore, because yeah, you're so weak and no one is with you, you're not there anymore. And then she has to, yeah, then she goes back to Dietmar, then the 2 guys come back, the 2 boys, then she goes back to the group, so she builds it up again. And this is what totally she learned, I think. And that's the only education or learning that I want in this film. I have no answer to any other question that the film raises, but I definitely want to say you can't do it and solve these problems by yourself, and probably not by shooting someone.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's a. Do you have anything you would like to add about the particular style of the film that you employed? As I said, I think it's a very involving film, and I think people are brought very close, especially to Mala's character, to Luisa. But I wonder if there's anything in particular about the style of the film.
Yeah, that we made a decision, my cinematographer Daniela and I, that we will strongly stay in her perspective. And that was, Mala, you can say something about that experience, because it's unusual probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Daniela and me, we did a camera test, and that was necessary, because then for the next 2 months, we were just like this. Like Daniela was either here or here, and we danced together. Like there were, like, it was really beautiful, because Julia and Daniela, they made it possible for us that, like, it wasn't like normally in a movie you go in your position or like, you know, but they wanted to, like, us as actors, we could play like 360 degrees kind of. And Daniela, our POP, she had to move around us, and especially like sticking on me.
She would,
and so
she would stick with you wherever you went. She would go.
So if I moved, like she went with me, and like I had dreams about this, like because she was like always following me, and which is like, I think it's beautiful, because it's not, as I said, from outside, like the audience gets the chance to really dive into it and have an own experience. And yeah, that was beautiful experience as an actress, because you're like just free. Yeah, I really like this work.
But also means you're on screen for almost the entire movie. You're
that was
on screen all the time.
Yeah, that was funny. It was like these rare moments where Julia was like, Mala, I think you're free now. And I was like, oh, cool. Okay, now I can. And she was, no, sorry. No, not really. No. And I was like, okay, woo. But like, I love it. So it's good.
Yeah. No, but that was very important for me to be, for the audience to become one with Luisa. And that is why we also didn't have score, but we only have source music. There's no comment from outside. Like you say, it's all what she experiences, the audience will experience. Of course, 2 times there is score when it's her song, the opera. But that is a strong statement from me that this is really Luisa's moment now. And I wanted this moment to stay out. But there's no other score. And you can never see anything that she wouldn't see or experience in that film. Like, and I hope it brings you close to her and brings the audience into her head.
And maybe I can tell this story quickly because it was crazy. Because we shot this way, I went really close to the character because like normally I do this like, okay, go on set. And then when I left the hotel, I'm like done with it. And with this movie, I experienced something really weird. I'm going to tell you, like Luisa at some point in the movie has a wound on her leg because the woman like smashes the bottle in it. And 2 months before shooting, I was in London, I lived there, and suddenly I got massive pain in my leg. I couldn't walk, nothing happened. I went to the hospital and they said like, there's nothing. And I had like pain for a couple of weeks and could barely walk. And then 1 week, the day I come to set for rehearsals, I wake up, pain is gone, no explanation. A couple of weeks later, we shoot the scene with the bottle. And I'm like, oh my God, I know this pain. And it was exactly the place where the bottle is cutting me. And it was just crazy because like, I didn't plan this. Like my body reacted to, I know it. My body reacted to it. And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, that was really weird.
And I must say also, Mala, you injured yourself for me during the film. She had a huge cut when she had to smash those car windows. And she was bleeding, and I was so impatient. Like, can she please come back because the light is going away? She said they're bleeding, and also I burned you with the light because we always
don't
needed
tell
this.
Julia, everything is fine. We were really professional.
No, but I want to tell you, you gave me so much, and you really put yourself into that. So. I mean, that of course we were professional, nothing really happened, but you gave me a lot, and it was only like 2 minutes of pain, and then you were again in front of the camera. I love that.
Yeah, that's true. Yes. I love that too, working with you.
You both did a tremendous job, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you.
Best of luck with the film, and I hope we can meet in person under better circumstances.
I really hope so.
Our organization has its own year-round cinema, and unfortunately, this program, as you know, is not taking place in it, but hopefully we will be talking another time.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.